Oh. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what part of the world you're in. I'm here in New York, and Darren is somewhere in the north of England. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you in a moment, but I'm just going to make sure that the Hangout's broadcasting okay. I can see it is. I can see that it picked up really quick because it was actually got me moving around in my chair. But what I want to do is I want to share my screen and show you some updates of what we've been doing, and also I want to talk to you about a little strategy that I'm about to embark on. So let me just go to make sure I'm on the correct screen. Yep, and bear with me. I'll just minimize that, get rid of that, make sure I'm not sharing stuff that I don't want to share. Right, so let me share my screen. And what I want to say is, if you've got any questions about this Hangout as we go through it, can you see the screen okay, Darren? If you can give me the thumbs up so I can just minimize that, great. If you've got any questions, like I say, if you can put those in capital letters, that would be fantastic, okay? Now, what I want to show you is a couple of little things that we've done on the bot that you might have noticed. Is at the top here, you've got a button when you come to the betting bots. If you come down to the trading bots and then come down to my betting bots, when you click that button, by default, what it does is it loads the live bots. And if you want to, so if I put that to live, okay, I'm in archives at the moment. So you just click on that button and it will put all your demo bots in one section and all your live bots in the other. So you can see exactly, like, you know, as you can see, all my bots that I've been setting up recently have all had wins. And I've got a few bots that are live at the moment and got mixed happenings there. This bot is doing 34.87 of the actual fund of $45. Okay, but what I wanted to do as well is I've set up two little bots here with very small budgets of $10. Okay, $10. And what I've also done is, if I go to my pocket options account, oh look, I've had a couple of wins and now just got a loss come in. Now I've also done, I've emptied my account and started with I think it was $55. I can tell you that in a minute. Let's just see what happens here, because there looks like there's a bet that's going on in place at the moment on this chart, and whether that's I've switched over too fast, maybe, but I see that was there. So I'll just refresh that to see what's happened. Yeah, so yeah, that was the bet that I lost. Okay, so look, if I come back to zukul, basically I've spent I don't know what I've got there, but as you can see, so this what I done was this morning is I cleared this back down to, I think it was 50. I've made a notes in my notepad, but I've took this back down to 50 because I wanted to show, or to see, if we could get a $50 account built up. Okay, and that's what we want to do. And as you can see, the bot's placing bets as we're live on here, and obviously the charts are now going into a bull run there. So if I refresh the screen, let's just see what's happened. So I think it's this bot at the bottom here that's struggling at the moment. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting up bots with small budgets, and I'm going to be getting to a strategy and seeing how the bot does, and to see if I can get this $50 account up. We're at $57, so we've got $7 in there so far. So I'm going to see how that does. Okay, so let me take you back over to here and show you this button again. You've got the live. So this is my demos. Obviously, you see, look, I've got a big demo there that I tried to set a 1,500 budget. Doesn't matter what I lose. I'm not interested. I don't care whether these are red or blue. Obviously, I'd like them to be blue because I'm testing out various strategies. Okay, so that's just a little tool that we've added. Now I want to take you to this screen to show you another tool that we've added, and that is basically right at this moment in time, the bot goes and looks at the charts. Okay, brings back the information for the last 3 days, but it also looks at the charts right now. So we give this warning sign to show it's high volatility. So if I go to, say, here, you see this would be a high volatility because it's on a bull run. Obviously, that might change in the next minute or so, okay? But what we're doing is we're showing you right now in real time how that's done in the last, you know, in the last half hour. Okay, so you get an idea of what's happened to this chart in the last half an hour. You know, because some people have said, "Oh, can you tell us what the chart's done in the last hour?" I don't think we should put that in these things here. You know, where it's got the 5th of November, the 6th of November. That's a 24-hour window. Okay, but this is what's happened in the last half an hour. So if the chart's got a volatility sign on it, it doesn't mean you can't set your bot up. Okay, if you wanted to choose this one at the top here, you can still go and do that. It's just showing you what the chart's doing right now, and that doesn't have anything to do with what the chart's going to be in the next minute, the next 5 minutes, or the next hour, or the next 24 hours. It's just telling you right now, which is there as a, it's not there as a as to put you off choosing that chart. But basically, you're going to tell the bot, if I'm going to use this, you understand that the bot's not going to trade straight away. It's going to wait until that chart becomes less volatile, you know. So it will wait. You see now this chart's settling a bit now. So it still wouldn't trade here because the Bollinger Bands need to narrow up again, I suppose, like this one is in the middle of the screen here. Okay, so this bot is just, this chart is just telling you, the bot's telling you that right now I'm not going to trade. But it doesn't mean that you can't set it up. They're all there as little tools to give you an idea of what's going on with the charts right now. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take you to a little PowerPoint presentation in a short while, and I'm going to talk to you about the launch, of how the launch is going to unfold. But before we do that, I'm going to come back over to the Hangout. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to put Darren on the spot. And see, because I've got to finish off my PowerPoint presentation that I was in, because I literally just walked in the door, had an appointment, running late. So I'm going to finish that PowerPoint presentation, if I may, and I'm going to hand it over to you, Darren, if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem at all. Love it. Hi, everyone. You're all right. Right. Okay. Thankfully, Jeremy's bought me a little bit of time then, because literally we must be running late. This is why we don't do Hangouts on Thursdays, I guess, because it's not great for us. Right, let me just have a quick whiz through, make sure we've not any questions initially. So let me just have a quick look, scan through the chat. Boom. So yeah. Yeah, no questions there. Brilliant, great. Okay, right. What I'm going to show you today, first of all, obviously, Jeremy's going to be sharing with you the official launch date of when we go live with the binary bot, and obviously everything that we've done so far with Zukul. Now, there's a lot that we've already had in place for, I bet it must be close to nearly sort of 10 months now, that we've got an awful lot already in place in Zukul. But obviously we wanted to use the binary bot as our like a definitive line in the sand, and we're now live, and we're now sort of going into the official launch phase of Zukul. So he's going to give you that information today. What I want to do really today is a couple of things. First of all, I'm just going to give you a quick update on the bots that we were talking about on the last Hangout. I'll just give you a bit of an update on those. And then I want to sort of refresh everybody's mind about where we are with the affiliate back office. Because again, there's some bits and pieces that we've moved in there, and we're going to be obviously adding other bits to that, or reintroducing things to that over the course of the next few weeks, shall we say, as we run up to the launch period. And again, depending on what Jeremy shares with you later, we'll then talk about bits and pieces of advertising that we've got lined up for the company's promotion. All right, so first thing is I'm going to just share, and obviously I need to go quiet while we do that, just to make sure that we're sharing okay. Yes, we are, hopefully. Good. All right, put my glasses on. So these are my bots here. You can see I've just made the screen large, but you can see here my mouse goes over. It's not screenshotting or anything like that. And there's a couple of things I want to show you. So if I just come down a little bit here, you can see here there's the 2nd of November, and from the 5th of November I started running. I've done lots of tests with demo, And what I started to do was do live testing and demo testing. So I'm doing two different strategies. I did a lot of initial demo testing with small amounts, as Jeremy's just been talking about. And I'm quite confident in the way that that works now. So I now do that, a lot of that live. So you're going to see the live results here. So you can see here, this, for those of you who are not familiar with the binary bot, this little blue square with the dollar sign in, that signifies that it's alive with real cash. And obviously the orange with the demo is obviously it's just demo trading with demo cash. So you can see this is all real cash. Now I'll save you the time. I've made about, I think it's between $140 and $150 since the 5th of November, since about 10 o'clock in the morning on the 5th of November. So what's that? It's about 3 days, isn't it? Which isn't bad. Bearing in mind that all I'm trading with is, you see, $10 amounts. That's how much I'm risking. And the setup has been quite successful. I've been doing it on this larger scale here, the larger formula. Stumbled across it by accident about a week ago and did a few tests. And now, obviously, like I say, it's starting to work pretty well. So you can see here, it's not even got into that budget, and it's produced me, and now $6 doesn't sound very much, but that is actually a 60% growth on the amount I was about to risk. And I did a little presentation last week about talking about if you started off with $500 in your account and doing a 5% increase over the course of every day, then obviously by the end of the week, you'd have around about $125, $130. Well, I've done more than that in about 3 days. So, and again, it's literally $10. You know, I think $10 is probably the least that it will work with. You could obviously try it with 5, but you need that $10, and I'll show you why in a moment. Why it works with the $10 and not 5. So you can see here that one's done pretty well. If we go to this one here above, you can see that this was actually produced a loss of $1.35. This one here, it didn't do anything. I let it run for 24 hours. Volatility wasn't great, so it didn't make any trades, so I just cancelled that one. This one here, okay, let me show you this one. So this is, it went into the budget of $10 by $1 and still produced me $7.68 before it sort of topped out. Just open the chart on this. I'm going to show you why $10 works. It's why $10 works with this formula. That's the important thing that I want to point out. The reason being is that you can see here, it initially, its first trade made a loss. So its first trade is $1, and it made a loss. Now, if I only had $5 as my starting budget, its second trade would only be $1. Whereas because I've got $10 in there, its second trade was actually $8. It used $8 to make that trade. And that's why it was able to make that huge profit leap there. And then, of course, it won its next 2 trades at $1 each. And then, obviously, you can see here it topped out there at whatever it was, $7. So I must have set the budget at around about $7 or something like that. So that's why it stopped out. But that's why it's important that I'm using $10 as a budget as opposed to $5 or anything like that. So I just wanted to make people aware of that. But again, if I scroll up, you know, it's like $7, $9, $19 here. Now this one here, I set a target of $15. Just trying to stretch it a little bit just to see how far I suppose my nerves would go in watching this one work. But incidentally, this one, I was doing it with $5 and 111s. So when I was looking at this gain credits, when I was looking at this on the charts, I couldn't get it into a profitable trade with anything better than a 111. So I just thought, well, I'll go with $5, and obviously that's what it's done. It's won. It's turned me around $15. This one actually did it overnight. You can see I set this one at 10:15. So this was 10:15 at night. Then went to bed and obviously woke up the following day. to $19. So I was quite pleased with that one. And you can see this one here, exactly the same. Woke up with an extra $10. So again, you know, they're all around about the same time. So those three there are set up. This one here was a demo one. I was just trying something a little bit differently. Basically, what I wanted to do was not have enough in the kitty, if you like, to go to this last formula. I wanted to have enough to see what would happen if I had the three, enough in the kitty for those three formulas. And you can see here that it dipped into the formula quite heavily, but it did produce me a nice chunky profit towards the end of it. So again, you know, like Jeremy's saying, you know, we're looking at trying to do profitable trades on low amounts of risk, if you like, but we're also looking at developing other strategies for, you know, people who've got larger amounts that they want to risk. So again, we're looking at those. So that's where my demos are coming in. Again, a few more live tests here that have all produced wins. Again, this is another one of those demos. This one was at 100 instead of this one being 150. And again, some more live demos here. This one was quite nice, 37. I allowed that one to run just to see how far it would go. And then I thought I was just chancing my arm too much, really, because it dipped down quite a lot. Again, I'd given it $15 to play with, and it come down quite high on that. But I thought $37 was a good one, so I actually manually terminated that one. And then again, another one here with a slightly bigger kitty, if you like, a slightly deep pot. But you see how it's really gone into that amount of money. It's really eaten into it. And again, I know that's something that that Jeremy's looking at with his strategies. But again, he's still returned a nice profit. A little loss here. Not sure why. I think that might have been. I was only on for 5 hours, so that's why that one. So probably didn't give that one enough time. So that could well have turned around. But obviously the hours, the amount of time I had for it, cut that one short. And again, another profit win here. Now I've got one that's running at the moment, and this is really interesting. So this is a demo one that I'm running. Now this is a crazy demo, so I've got this one at 3,000 because I wanted to see what would happen if I allowed it to have quite a few versions of the full formula. Now this, let me open this chart up. This chart is a, how can I describe it? It's because it's such a successful bot, that's why I'm losing this amount of money. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, you can see here that all these little trades, it's all winning. These are all wins. And then obviously it loses a couple of big trades here, and then it's got a series of winning trades here. I don't know how many are there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's probably about 15. It's probably about 10 or 12 trades that is worn out of 15 there. But because they're only $1 trades, it's going to take a while to claw back that that minus 500. What we need to do is we need to have some more losses, which allows it to then come in with that big $500 trades, which then gives us nice big chunky profits, which gets us back up here. But it's a victim of its successful bot trading. That's basically what's happening here. It's either winning its first trade or it's winning its second trade, and it's not sort of giving it enough oomph to get it back up there. So that I thought was really interesting, because the headline here, you think, you know, it's losing you $500. Well, it is, but it's only losing me that money because of this one bad trade here. But obviously it's winning an awful lot of good trades. And this sort of leads me on to the bit that sort of Jeremy's doing now. I'm
just going to keep that on the screen, if you
will. Oh, right, yeah.
Because you've covered quite a few things here, and I just want to, because this is interesting, that you see your bot was obviously it had a couple of losers in there, then it had a series of losses in a row, and then of course it got to a big trade, a big bet of 500, and it lost that, which dipped it down. And like you quite rightly say now, it's going to start back over, and it's going to be doing 1-1-1s. And if it's winning, it's going to take at least 500 trades or 400 and odd trades to get back to 500. So I was wondering, I'm not suggesting you do this or anybody else does it, but it's just something that sprung in my mind. You could actually go into this bot now and pause it and edit it so that if you feel confident that the bot's trading okay, is adjust the first bet to a higher one, get it back, try and claw back the money, and then go back in again and then pop it back down to the $1. You know, so
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you just cut in. As I was just about to say, was that because of the way that the system is that I can only start with $1 here because you can't place a bet of more than 1,000. So it doesn't allow you to start this with a 2, because it would be then 16, whatever that is, 128, and then this one would be over 1,000. So my theory is to leave this for 24 hours, because this was only running basically what was set this at lunchtime yesterday. So I was going to leave it till tomorrow, and then depending on what had happened, I was then going to go back into the settings, and then I was going to change this formula, and I was going to knock it down to the next one, and then start it with a 2. So it would be 2, 14, 100 and something, and then 800. So it would allow me to run that, and it's still fairly cautious. Oh, it's still chunky, but again, I just want to see if that is sort of playing with the formulas and obviously the amounts as well, just to see what we can do with a nice chunky budget.
Aaron, if you know the screen where you showed you had a $10 budget, I think you said maybe your archives it was you were sharing earlier. So it's interesting to know why, actually, because you might have to clear your cache, because I can see you've got your live and your demos on the same screen here. And oh, I just noticed that. But maybe you can try after the hangout clearing your cache and maybe logging in. And if not, let me know and we'll put that in as a bug. But you see here, you've got, let's look at a bot, which one that's got a $10 budget. So we got November, 12.55. You've got one $6.68 in profit. Now, when you did this sort of on the last hangout that you and I were on, you touched, and then that's sent in a flurry of people sending in some support tickets. Basically, and a few people personally messaged me and said, "Oh, it doesn't make sense what Darren's doing, because if you've only got a $10 budget, you can't do the third bet." But I think. And that's quite right. If you had 2 bets in a row lost, then obviously your bot would lose. But what we found and what I've noticed with the bot, it tends to, if it's losing, it tends to be in most of the cases the first couple of bets, one then the next one, then the next, and then it has a win. So and also, you know, this brings me to think that you've identified a strategy here that maybe we ask the programmers to give us a manual formula, you know, where you could say, well, my first bet to be $1, my next bet to be $8. If that loses, send me back to $1 and then do $8. So maybe we could have a tool where people could set a manual formula, you know, maybe we'll set that up for ourselves to start with to see if that would be of any help. Because in your case, where you lost, if you would have placed a $1 bet, if the bot would have placed a $1 bet, then it would have placed the $8. Now, if it lost that, it would only have $1 left.
Yeah. So you can see here on this one here. Yeah. So this one had a budget of 15. I think it was 15, or I forget now what it was. Whatever it might be. So you can see here that it won its first bet, and then it lost the second bet. It then went into 8, and then then it obviously lost that, and then its next bet was then going to be 8 again, because there's not enough play to place that 64. So it went back to that 1 bet again. So that's why I've set it at those $10.
Yeah, and because
set it at $50.
Just to make sure that people are understanding, what the bot is designed to do is to spend your budget. Okay. Yeah. So if, like Darren said there, if it placed the first $1 and it lost, then it placed the 8 and it lost. Well, then you've placed $9. You've got $10 you were betting with, and you've still got $1. So the robot's smart enough to know, well, I haven't got $64, but there is a chance for me to place a bet. So it places the $1 that uses up it'll use up your budget, you know. And so I just wanted to make sure that people were aware of that's what it does. So with that formula is 1,864. You know, it's interesting. And I think that this is the purpose of having the demo, that people should try and think outside the box. And you clearly thought outside the box here, and it's paid off. You know, you've got a demo one there, $209. I would have loved that to have been a live bot. But look at that bot, the next one down, $37.60 on $15 budget. I don't know what that ROI is, but you know, that's pretty amazing, I think. Look at that one, $10, $6.68. I think that, what's that, 66.8%.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's mind blowing. It really is. And I just think, yeah, fantastic, unbelievable. It is. That's why you got to play with this. You got to.
It's like this one here, although it was a demo. So this one here, you can see it lost, and then obviously did it like a big one. Now I'm not sure why it didn't do the big ones earlier, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Not sure why. It may have been me not putting the right budget in or whatever. I don't know, but it didn't do that. And then obviously it's then.
Well, what was the first win? The first loss there was $1.
Oh,
then
actually, no, it is right. Yeah, it is. It's just because of the scale of it. That's why. Yeah, there's the big one, and then it shot up there. Yeah, sorry, that's me being used to seeing $1.
Yeah, that one where there's a red triangle. It placed a red $82 bet there. It placed an $82 bet there, and obviously, you know, it was a win, basically. I know it was a loss, wasn't it? It was a loss.
That was the loss, and then it was the next one that won.
So what was that one? Look, it played 663.44 and got a win. And what amazes me with the bot is that you try and do that as a human. I can tell you, it's
squeaky bum time.
Your nerves go, definitely your nerves go on that. Yeah, fantastic. I think it's this is why you've got to play with it. You've got to play with it, and then what me and Darren are about to do is we're going to run.
Stop sharing.
Oh yeah. We're going to run a bot each, but we're also going to do live trading as well, and we're going to compare the live with the bot doing, and we're going to then the programmers are going to analyze both of the data on both of it, you know, because we're going to do live trading, record our screen when we're doing it. Obviously, we'll have our trade log inside Pocket Options. We'll also have a demo bot set up, a live bot set up exactly the same. We're going to do $100 budget and see where over maybe 4 hours or a couple of hours, just a few trades, not to see how much we can make, but basically to see how the bot compares with a human, and to see if we can tweak and improve the bot. Okay, and really, this leads me into. I'm going to share my screen. It leads me into the launch and why the launch is going to be when it is. And so let me share my screen, and I will let. Can you give me the thumb up there, Darren? You got the screen? Yeah, excellent. I'm sure there's. I noticed there was a couple of questions there, but we'll come to them in a minute. I'm going to make this nice and big. So look, this is. I've stretched this, I'm afraid, just so that you could see it. But this obviously it's not going to look like this. But this is going to be the new internal design. Okay. I've grayed out the profile there in the top right hand corner because that's somebody's real live data. But as you can see there, you're going to get. Obviously, you'll have your time of how long your account's got left. You'll have your trading quota to do with your other bots, not your binary bots. What you can withdraw calculator. You'll have some details about your profile, you know, your affiliate link and all that sort of stuff if you're an affiliate. And there'll only be one dashboard. I can tell you that. There's not going to be an affiliate dashboard and a trading dashboard. You will get the trading dashboard by default, and if you're an affiliate, you will get the extra things tacked on the end of it. Okay, they'll come. The screen will get longer, if you like. We're not going to have the calendar in the back there because, quite frankly, I always forget to fill the calendar out. So we're not going to have the calendar. I'll show you in the back office in a minute of what we've got at the moment, but you'll see you've got your top performing bots. We're going to put your top performing bots in the middle of the screen there, and basically that's all of your bots. That'll be your you know, all your crypto bots, your gold bots. I'm not sure the binary bot. I'm sure it will be there, but it'll be your top performing bots that are in there. Obviously, you can view all of the bots, but it will show you the best bots that are doing the best. You'll have your last trades. You'll see 4 or 5 of your last trades on the screen all the time. Of course, you can go and look at all the trades. And then in the bottom, you'll have how long you've got left your affiliate package. If you've got an affiliate, what earnings you've earned. Okay, if you're an affiliate, and the funnel that you're in. I'm not quite sure what's going to be in that end box on the far right there, but I'm sure we've got a placeholder for a reason. And then there'll be this little chart at the bottom there, which is basically your earnings, and your earnings will be your affiliate earnings, what your affiliate earnings are doing. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing soon, and we're hoping to have that done before the launch. Okay, now the zukul binary option robot launch. Before I talk to you about the launch, I want to talk to you about a disclaimer, and that is, remember only to trade with money that you can afford to lose. There is no guarantee that you will make any money. Trading of any kind has its risks of losing your capital. Okay, please trade responsibly, have fun, and don't take risks that you can't afford to lose. That's very important, that when you're trading, you're not trading out of greed, okay, or you're not trading out of emotions of saying, I've got to pay the electric bill, or I've got the rent or the mortgage to pay, or I must buy my kids some new trainers, so I'm going to trade with the savings that I've saved for that particular purpose, and I'm going to turn it into money. That's a wrong way to be trading. You should only be trading with money you can afford to lose, that's not going to affect your life. So in other words, I'm saying, if you went out for a pizza tomorrow and the pizza shop, you was planning on sitting in a restaurant having a pizza, but when you got there, the pizza had a flood, the pizza shop had a flood and it was shut down. Okay, you couldn't spend your money, wouldn't make any difference whether you bought the pizza or not, only you wouldn't enjoy the pizza. So again, when you're trading, you shouldn't be trading with money that's going to affect your life, okay, or it's going to upset you, or it's going to make you feel depressed or anything else. So please, I'm begging you, whenever you're trading and any robots that you're using, trading demo, and make sure that when you do go into live, it's money that you can afford to trade with. The zukul binary option launch is going to be on the 28th of November 2018. I believe that's a Wednesday. I'm not 100% sure. So we will be launching on a hangout. Okay, we will be launching on a hangout. Hopefully myself and Darren will be on that hangout, but that's when we're going to be launching. That's when we believe we're going to have all the other bits that we need to do, because we still got to be doing a few more tweaks for the binary option robot. I want to try and get the design in. We've got to move the founders into position, which I believe is going to be starting very soon. Okay, so the launch is on the 28th of November 2018, and that will be on a hangout. And I do believe it is a Wednesday, because I come back from the US, I think, on the Monday. So it's I've done it for the Wednesday so that I can get over get my body into the UK time zone. Who will have access? Okay, who will have access? Well, before we go live, before we launch, that is, leaders and founders will have access, and leaders and founders have already got access. Those people that wanted to be a founder, unfortunately, that position is now closed, so you can't be a founder, but you still have the chance to be a leader. Obviously, if you believe that you're a leader and that you can bring a team of people into Zukul, then you need to either reach out to myself either to Darren or send in a support ticket, whichever you feel. There's 3 options there: myself, Darren, or support. Okay. Now, when on the 28th of November, when we switch on, I'm not quite sure when we switch on. I think it's going to be around about 8 o'clock GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, you know, London time or UK time, whatever you want to call it. When we launch, we're going to be launching with demo. Okay, so let me tell you first about the demo side of it. Only zukul members with a beginner's account, an intermediate, and advanced will have access to demo. Now, you may be looking at the screen saying to yourself, well, okay, I'm a beginner or I'm an intermediate and I'm advanced. Why would I want demo, and why would you only give me demo? Well, the point is, we want people to start off with demo because we want them to test in demo to understand the bot, okay, to get to understand it. And we're still, like Darren's just showed you, Darren's stumbled upon a strategy because he's thinking outside the box and say, let me try something that doesn't add up. And so this is what we want to do. We know the bot can be successful because you can clearly see that I've set up bots that are winning. Darren set up bots that are winning. I've set up demo bots that have gone into $70,000. I've set up demo bots that have gone into minus $15,000, you know, but we do know the bot works. So we're giving the beginners, the intermediate, and the advanced access to the demo, okay? Access to demo. Now, who else will have access to the live bots other than the founders and the leaders, okay? Well, on the 28th of November, we're going to be giving the ability for beginner members to have access to the binary bot, and there's going to be an upfront fee, which will be a yearly fee of 0.15 BTC and a 50% profit sharing. Now, what that means is you will get access to the bot for a whole year, but each week, you'll have to pay a profit share to open up the next week. So you might not trade for 3 weeks. And then all of a sudden you say, oh, I'm gonna switch on my bots. After that 4th week, you will have a 50% profit sharing. If you've made no profit, don't worry, you'll get access for the next 7 days for free. You won't have to pay that profit sharing because you can't pay 50% of nothing. But if you've made a profit, then you will be a 50% profit sharing. I can tell you leaders and founders will already know they've got a lot less than the 50% profit sharing. You will get an invoice in your back office. It will be very clear on how you're going to pay that profit sharing. And of course, the profit sharing is only on the live bots. You're not going to be sharing profits on a demo because obviously that's not real money. If you're an intermediate, you're going to pay 0.12 BTC a year. That's Bitcoin. And your profit sharing will be 45, not 50%. Okay. And again, the same, you will have access for a whole year for from 0.12 Bitcoin, but as you trade, you will have a 45% profit sharing that you will need to pay every week. And if you're an advanced member, you'll pay 0.076 Bitcoin and you'll have a 40% profit sharing. Okay, and again, you'll be invoiced every week, and everything in the back office will be clear of how the invoices are paid, how long you've got to pay them. Everything will be clear in the back office when we launch, okay? So just to summarize, the demo is going to be available to the beginners, intermediate, and advanced. A beginner's going to need to pay 0.15 of a Bitcoin to get access for a year to the binary option robot. Intermediate's going to have to pay 0.12 for a year to get access to the binary option robot, and a 45% profit sharing. The beginners are going to have a 50% profit sharing. The advanced member will pay 0.076 of a Bitcoin per year to get access to the bot, and will be a profit sharing of 40%, again payable every week. So who will get access to the live bot? Okay, well, I can tell you now that the binary option bot will be limited to a number of users, okay, that can have access to it. And the reason is because we need to be, you know, Pocket Options are saying that we can't have thousands of people, okay? We are working on bringing in another binary option site that we can connect with API, and I should be telling you about that, but that won't be until after the launch, okay? You know, that will probably be after Christmas that extra binary option site comes on. But when we launch, it will be very limited. So who will have access when we launch? Well, places will be filled on first come, first serve basis. Okay. So when we launch on the 28th of November, okay, we will tell you on that hangout how many people, how many spots we're going to have available. And we will also tell you on that hangout the exact time we're going to turn on. Okay. Now, it might be at the end of the hangout, might be halfway through the hangout. It might be at midnight of that evening, UK time. We will tell you on that hangout on the 28th of November. So if you want to get access to the live bot, you want to make sure that you get on that hangout. And you might be looking at the screen saying, well, that's Jeremy. I don't live in the UK and that's 3 o'clock in the morning for me. Well, if you want to get access, then you need to get up, don't you? So it's, you know, don't make an excuse that you had to lie in bed and sleep and you want to get access to it, because it will be very, very limited. Okay. I don't know how many we're going to get access to the bot, but it will be done on first come, first served. And if you want to make a payment and you're going to pay for that, you want to make sure you've got that money either in your back office of Zukul, because you could be able to top up your account, or you've got it in your wallet ready to send. There's no good you afterwards saying, oh, I was wanting to send it, but it was in my bank account and I couldn't get it into Coinbase, or I got it over there. You know, it's not gonna, there's nothing you can send us to say that why you was late for your payment would be justified. Okay. You need to make sure that if you want to get access to it, you need to make sure that you've got the funds to pay for it. And you need to make sure that you're on that live hangout. Okay. If you're not on that live hangout, then quite frankly, you could lose out, because we will only launch that for a limited number of people. And that's not a marketing ploy, I can tell you that. It's, you know, the binary option websites, and you can Google it. Google how do binary option websites make their money. And they make their money the same way as a bookie does, you know, a betting office. And that is, they want you to bet on an outcome and they hope you lose. You know, because let's face it, if 1 million people bet and they say, we're going to give you 1 million to 1, and everybody won, then the company that's taking the bet would have to pay out 1 million people all $1 million each. You know, so what they want is, they're saying, well, we're happy if some people win, because there's 1 million people that are paying us, so we can take the winnings, the money we've collected from the 1 million people, and pay a couple of winners. Same as when you do the lottery. You do the lottery get you to choose 6 numbers, or certainly in the UK, I don't know what it is in other countries, but you do the lottery. They don't want everybody to win. They want people to lose, because they pay the winners from the losers' money. Binary options works the same way. Pocket options, no way on this planet are they going to want us to pour thousands of people into their site that are winning more than they're taking in. They're just going to close us down. So that's why it's been limited. We're limited because we feel we feel confident. We know, we're confident that the bot is successful. Obviously, it's about strategies and how you tweak it. And you see with Darren, like Darren's just showed you there, he's got winning bots where you would say, well, I can't choose that formula because I'm only trading with $10 and the third bet's 64. It's obviously not enough. But Darren didn't think that far ahead when he was setting it up. He thought, well, if it loses the first one, it's going to come in big with an 8. So let's hope it wins the 8 and not go. So Darren was putting his neck on the line, if you like, going out and taking a bit of risk, because he could afford to lose that money. Now, I bet you if I said to Darren, go and do that with your mortgage that you're going to pay your bills, or do that with the housekeeping money, or do that with the money that you're going to pay your car insurance, or your, you know, some new trainers for your daughter, he'd say, no, thanks, I'm not doing that. The wife will kill me if I don't get it right. She'd give him a big hug if he did, but there's a chance that it could go against him. So Darren's only doing what he can afford to lose, you know, and that's why he's being risky. And I think that's fantastic. And how are we getting on?
Jeremy, sorry, just to add on to that, because I've had a couple of conversations with people this week, and somebody has told me already that they got access to the bot. It might have been last week, and they're getting back to me and saying that their pot has already diminished because they've lost so many bets. And I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute, why are you actually trading with live money? It's just incomprehensible to me. What you guys have got to understand is that we've traded binary options manually for a long time. We've then had access to this bot for a long time. So we've tested all sorts of things. So you could argue that we're 3 or 4 months down the line in that testing and understanding how the bot is. And yet we're passing on that information to you, but you also need to put in your own personality, your own risk nature. And that's why we keep saying to you, use the demo, use the demo, use the demo, test. Don't just go into it with live cash. That really is the worst thing, because as soon as you put live cash in, your mentality and personality will change. Like I was doing, for example, with a couple of those that, you know, they were winning like $6, $7, $8. Well, that really was down to me sort of terminating them because I didn't want to lose that. You know, it's that fear of loss can really restrict you. So you need to make sure that you allow these bots to run and have the confidence in them. And the only way you're going to do that is by doing it in demo first and then doing it with live cash. And then when you do it with live cash, as we're trying to prove to you now, is that you can do it with really small amounts of cash. You know, the sort of money that, like Jeremy says, the sort of money you'd use to buy a pizza, you know, $10, you know, it really isn't going to break the bank. If it is going to break the bank, really, you shouldn't be doing binary trading options. You should be probably going out getting another job. But you need to make sure that you're doing the demo mode really until you're getting really confident that you're winning sort of 7, 8 out of 10 trades. You know, you need to be doing that demo. I'll get off my soapbox now.
Yeah, no, and it's you know, we've I don't know how many times that we've said on a hangout, do demo. I even had a guy that said, oh, I can't get my bots to win, and I said to him, look, this is what you want to set them up. You know, he's connected to me, he's a friend. So I said, this is what you want to set them up at, but do them in demo. And a few days later, he said to me, I've wiped out my thing. I said, why? You didn't do it. I asked you to do in demo. Oh, I thought you was asking me to do in live. And I showed him the WhatsApp chat and said, look, it says do in demo. Do stuff in demo. There's no point you going to real money. Don't let greed take you to, I want to earn loads of money now. I've got to have it now. And go in live, because you're going in blind. You know, you're going in blind. If you turned up at a horse race and you know, you've never ever been to a horse race before, and you didn't even know what a horse was before you actually got there, and you said, I'm going to bet on that one over there with the man sitting on top of it and he's got a nice red saddle, I think he's going to win. You know, yeah, you might be lucky and you might get a winner, but if you haven't studied the formulas and you haven't studied about the jockey and about the horse, and you haven't read any information, you're just going in there blind. You're just having a bit of fun. And yeah, I've gone to I've had a night out at the dogs or a night out on the horse, a day at Ascot or something like that. And I've gone for fun. I've gone, and I've even said to my wife, I said, you know, we went to Las Vegas. I don't gamble. I can't play poker, but I'll have a go. And I went to Las Vegas. My wife went on a machine where there was horses running round, and they're plastic things, you know, the jockey's going up and down like this. And she puts a dollar in. And yeah, at the end of the evening, she won $200. I sat on the blackjack table, and at the end of the evening, I'd lost $50. But I didn't come out of there thinking I was going to throw myself under the next bus, because it was entertainment. Because if I didn't spend that money there, we would have gone to a restaurant. We would have probably spent more than $50. We would have maybe gone and watched a movie or gone to the theatre or something like that. So for me, the $50 that I lost was entertainment. And that's what you should be doing when you're trading with these robots or any trading. Do it as entertainment until you get to a stage where you say, you know what, I could give up my day job here because I'm a professional now and I know exactly what I'm doing. And every time I trade, I make loads of money. Then that's different. But until you get to that stage, demo, 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 demo. When you feel confident you've got it with demo, go in with small amounts, $10, like Darren's done there, like my bots are $10. Let's say you set up one live bot and you've got 3 demos going, and that live bot doesn't make you any money. Don't go and set up another live bot, go back to demo, because there's obviously something you've not quite got the hang of. Go back to demo and say, I need to go back to the drawing board. I need to go back and study. And you see what Darren was doing there is he was showing you that what we've said on Hangouts in the past, it's changed, it's evolved, because I used to say, you know, if you haven't got a budget of about $200, then don't set your bot up. I also said, if you haven't got at least 3 or 4 times the amount of money so it can go through 3 or 4 cycles, then don't bother. Well, Darren's clearly proven that that's not the case. It's two things he's proven there. One, you don't need a big budget. He's got $10, and I said you need $200. And I also said that if you're going to choose a formula that's 1, 2, 4, and 8, that adds up to 15. At least have $60, you know, so it can go 4 times of that formula. Well, Darren's only got 2 times of that formula. So again, it's not true what I said on previous Hangouts. And so it's not that I was lying to you or misleading you, but at the time, that was the strategies that was in our heads, of saying that's what you need to be doing. But Darren started to think outside the box and come at a different angle. And as he said, he stumbled across it. I don't know how he stumbled across it, but the thing is, he stumbled across a winning little formula. And I'm sure that he might stumble across something else, or I might stumble, or you even might stumble across something else. But that's why the demo's there, for you to play with it, to get an idea and say, you know what, I've found the best way to help this bot make me loads of money, or make me extra money. You know, it's not going to make you a millionaire by next Thursday, I can tell you that. One thing I want to say, there was a question there from Dave Vaughan that when we go live, will we get access to more than free live bots? The short answer to that is no. We're keeping free live bots, because the more bots we give to people that have got access, the less people can have access, because it works the same way. If you've got one person that's got 3 bots and 2 of them are winning, if I give you 10 bots and 6 of them are winning, well, Pocket Options are not going to be happy with that, are they? So we've limited it purely at this stage because we want to give more people access to the bot. And then when we bring on the extra site, the extra binary options site, then what we'll do is we'll have so many in this site and so many in that site, you know, so we'll be able to take more. But we've got no plans to give more than 3 bots. You know, 3 bots should be plenty, really. 3 bots should be plenty. If you've got a bot that you're not happy with, you know, there's nothing stopping you terminating it and set up a bot you are happy with. But I'm sure when you set the bot up, you was happy. So just because it's losing now, let it run its course. Unless you're getting worried that you say, you know what, I really don't think this bot's going to do it. Then of course you make the choice and override the bot's decision. Either edit the settings or delete it, you know, terminate the bot and set up a new one. Is there any more questions, Darren? Because I would like to share my screen if there's not.
There's just a quick one from Graham. Graham saying, are you using the large formula regardless of the estimator shows a loss? No, I only use the large formula if it's showing profitable. But like I say, it's I still follow the same mentality that we've gone through. So I go through all the settings and make sure that I'm getting a good profit. I don't want to see £1,000 budget to get $1,500 profit. Whilst that looks good, it's still too large a loss, and I know that I would have lots of losses on that. So I still use the same mentality of looking for a smallish budget for a largest profit. You know, I don't know what the formula is in my head, but it's just whatever looks good, at least sort of twice. So if it's using a budget of $500, I would expect it to have a profit of $1,000 on that particular day. So that's really the only thing. Clearly, I'm not going to use that amount of budget. I still only go in with, well, at the moment, between sort of $10 and $15. But I just want to make sure that I've got that sort of that profitability built in. So hopefully that makes sense. And I think that was it. So I think we're good to go with a screen share.
Yeah. So what we're coming up to time. Are you okay for a bit of time, Darren, if we run over a little bit?
Yeah.
So hopefully you can see my screen now, and I'll just go over to the Hangout. Make sure. I think the screen is going to show. Makes sense, JR? Yeah. Right, good. So look, what we want to tell you is that obviously Zukul is going to have a new design in the back there. So if I go over to the affiliate package and I go to the dashboard, okay, this is all going to change. Okay, the calendar at the bottom here is going to go. This little graph at the bottom here is going to look completely different. Okay, so based on what I just showed you. But what I want to tell you as well, what are you inside Zukul? Okay, you've got my tools section. If you're an affiliate, you get access to. We're going to be going back to Social Matey and have a looking at that once we get to the launch, because we know we need to fix some bugs on that. But you've got an autoresponder there. You've got a landing capture pages already made. We're going to be updating those capture pages, and they're going to be focused towards more the robots, not only just the binary option bot, but obviously the bots that we've already got. And I'll come back to those in a minute. You've got a landing page creator there. You've got a URL shortener and tracking tool. You've got a blog, and you've got a very basic landing. What's that? A banner creator. Okay, so you've got these tools that you get part of the the affiliate package. Okay, now I can tell you that the affiliate package does have a yearly payment. So if you're not an affiliate and you want to get access to the bots, you can get access to the bots or the binary bot. Limited people for the binary bot. But then if you want to be an affiliate and you want to promote, then you would have a yearly fee to pay for that. And if I go back to the affiliate dashboard, you get what these are called funnels. Okay, we're not going to cover the funnels, but that's part of the affiliate package, and we will be doing some more on the funnels and the affiliate package probably once a month. Okay, we're going to cover the compensation plan once a month. Really, once a month we'll probably cover the tools, and then if you come down to the getting started section, where is it? There it is at the top. Getting started. We're going to be updating the getting started section for the affiliates, because I think Darren's working on some marketing stuff. We have got a JV Zoo product that we're going to be bringing out where you can earn a bit of cash from, but also what it's for, it's a sort of a feeder program, if you like, to get people to know about the trading bots. Okay, so we'll be telling you about that. Darren's written an amazing ebook, which we're going to be telling you about as well, and how you can get access to that for marketing purposes and whatnot. But so we will be changing this getting started page as we go forward. And also we've got a section here that's called marketing, okay, and banners. At the moment, we don't have anything in here in the banners, but we will be having some banners in there so you can promote your business if you want to promote. That's I'm only just telling you this stuff if you want to. And then we've got a marketing tab there. It's nothing on the page at the moment, but we will be adding stuff to there that will give you some marketing ideas and things like that. Okay, some training for that. We may put it inside the getting started and make it get to it through there. I'm not sure, but this menu might change. Okay. Now with the trading platform, okay, if I go to the dashboard, inside there you've got your gold savings. Okay, you could do gold trading. I tend to buy a little bit of gold. You've got your fiat to crypto trading bots. You've got your semi-automatic trading bots. You've got your gold bots, which is where you're trading gold with Bitcoin, I believe it is. You've got crypto to crypto trading bots. And of course, you've got the binary option trading bots. Now, I can tell you when we've launched the binary option, we're going to be going back. I'm not sure if we're going to update these bots or we might add a different type of bot. Okay, but basically, these bots are going to get I don't know, I don't know whether improvement's the word to use, but there's going to be other ways that you can use the bots, like for market makers and things like that. But we'll explain all that as we go forward, okay? But that won't happen till after Christmas, because what we're doing now, if I come back to the Hangout, is what we're doing now is we're working on finishing the binary option robot, okay? And I don't suppose that'll ever really be finished, because we'll keep tweaking it and tweaking it and tweaking it. But we want to get it to a good stage where we can launch and feel confident launching. I believe we're there now, but we want to go another few weeks. We're presently going to be, we've already got plotted out the founders funnel moves, okay? So we will be doing a Hangout on that to sort of try and explain to you what that means and what might happen to your business once you're moved. We're also going to be, we're working on the smart wallet that we're working on, which I'm not going to cover that on this Hangout. And we will be working on some marketing stuff, okay, that will help really the company to promote, you know, and also help you to promote. But the company's going to be doing promoting, is going to be spending some money on some solo ads and some, we've got, I think, a couple of grand sitting in our Google AdWords account. So we've got lots of things that we're going to be doing. And the smart wallet is going to be in the first, I'm hoping in the first quarter, but I'm going to say the first half of 2019, because it's, you know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do these bots. So we've got a lot happening, okay? A lot happening. Now, I can tell you on the next Hangout that I do with Darren, okay? I'm not sure when that will be, but I believe that we're going to have a little auction for some founder positions that we've kept, okay? We've got a couple of founders positions that we're going to be auctioning off, and I'm going to be telling you when me and Darren can do a Hangout together. So it won't be on just Darren's Hangout, and it won't be just on mine. When both me and Darren come together again on a Hangout, which I'm hoping will be next week sometime, we'll give you the details of the auction for the founder spots. Now, what we will be doing with the auction, whatever we collect in auction money, okay? So imagine now we've got a founder's position. I don't know, let's just say we collect a Bitcoin to make it easy number to understand. Half of that money will stay with the company, okay? The other half we're going to use for a competition on who brings in the most leads and things like that. So I'm giving you that information. So it could be half a Bitcoin up for grabs. Could be 0.1 of a Bitcoin up for grabs, but we will be using half of the auction money to go towards a competition of some sort. We'll let you know. We haven't decided. Darren didn't even know I was going to do a competition, but I've just said it now. So we'll come up with a, when we've got all the landing pages built and we've got the stuff, so it'll probably be as we get closer to Christmas. So it'll give somebody a good Christmas present, basically. We'll be doing that competition. So what I want to say to you now is that as we approach the launch, if you're already in Zukul, you should really be thinking about promoting your business, because not only will your robots get you cash, okay, earn you an income, or top up your income, I should say, but if you can bring in people below you, 1 or 2 or 3 people, it makes your account free for starters, but you don't know who they're going to bring in. You don't know the next star is that's going to bring in loads of people. And doing, you know, a couple of posts a week, or a couple of posts a day, or a couple of posts a month, depending on what you can do. We're going to be showing you all that stuff on how to do it, what to promote, giving you the images that you could maybe use, giving you some videos and all that sort of stuff. But we'll be telling you where that's going to be and how you can get access to it. It'll be free for you to get access to it, whether you're a paid member or a free member, because you can join Zukul for free, go out and promote it. And when you've got enough people underneath your, you know, underneath you can actually go and upgrade your account. I think you have to pay for the affiliate package, to be honest. But you can, you know, start this business for a very, very small amount of money. Or, of course, if you just want to get access to the bots, you can, you know, start with a small amount of money as well. But personally, I think, you know, you really want to start promoting your business. Anything you want to add, Darren, before we call it a close? Is there any more questions or anything?
No, there's no more questions, which is good because I mean, we must be doing about 2 questions a night, which means that we must be doing a fantastic job in explaining everything. No, I wanted to obviously go through the some of the marketing stuff, but obviously you've already touched on that, and I'll hold back on the other stuff, and perhaps for next week, because I'm looking at alternatives. I'll just say that I'm looking at alternatives from the normal marketing, which I did a whole series on marketing, loads of like Wednesday trainings, and this is something that I've known about, but I've not actually used prior to this week, and the results that I'm starting to see look quite interesting. So if that bears fruit, then that might give some people some really exciting results. So, but I'll hold fire on that. I'll just leave the teasing there, and we'll talk about it next week.
Excellent. So, as you know, I'm in the US, and I'm here doing some business as well. And so I might not be available in the first part of next week, from Monday onwards, but I'll probably be available sort of Thursday, Friday time. So I'm looking to probably be on a hangout Thursday or Friday next week. I'll obviously liaise with Darren to make sure that we can get on the same hangout. When have you got anything planned for a next hangout, Darren, for people?
Well, Wednesday, I was going to do Wednesday next week, and I was literally just going to focus on everybody's mind on going through the affiliate and the marketing, trying to not going through everything, but basically remind everybody what's already in there, and obviously how to use what's already in there. Not big in-depth training, because the training's already in there, but again, just showing people how to navigate it, because again, we've got quite a few new people, quite a lot of new founders as well. So obviously just want to make sure they're aware of it. I've had a few questions about it, you see. So obviously that's uppermost in most people's minds. Sorry, while I've got the chair, Mike has asked a question. I think we've already answered that question, Mike. When you go into your back office, basically he's saying that his bots have disappeared. The back office has changed. So if you should have a live button and a demo button, like a little coloured button. And if you click on that, then your live bots will appear in your archive. If you click on it again, your demo bots will appear in your archive. Mine, it's a cache issue. It works on the phone and it works on the tablet fine, but for some reason it's not working on the PC, which is why you saw both of them on my screen. But hopefully, I think that'll answer your question. If it doesn't, then obviously you know what to do. You need to obviously just submit a ticket. But I think that's the answer to your question.
Yeah, and I'll share the screen and just show Mike that, and for anybody else quickly. So if we look here, I'm in my account. Okay, as you can see, there's no bots on the screen. But because this is a live active bots. So if I click this, it then shows my live active bots. And if I click it, sorry, this was the demo. So I've got no demo bots set up. Click it again, it spins round. There's my live bots. Okay, and if I come to my archives, that's my live archives, and that's my demo archives. And it would look the same for all of these tabs, whether it be gold reached, or the the live bots, sorry, the bots, the active bots, the goal reach, or the archives. All you need to do is click this button. If you don't see that button, first off, try logging out, logging back in. If it's still showing you like Darren's was, it's still showing it in one screen. If it still doesn't, then click log out, clear your cookies and your browsing history, mainly your image. You know, if you're running Google Chrome, I think you could come up to here and come down to here. Look, these 3 dots, come to these 3 dots. On a Mac, you have it up the top here, but I think on Windows, you don't. You have these little 3 dots. You come down to history, okay? And when you go to history, let me see if that recent, I'm not sure how you do it on a Windows machine, but on a Mac, you come up here and you go show full history. And then what you do is you clear browsing data. Now, you don't have to clear the browsing history. You don't have to clear the cookies and other site data, which is all your passwords and all that. What you need to definitely clear is your image files, your cached image and files. Okay, so that one you need to clear. I've obviously already done that. I'm not going to do it again because I don't want to lose that stuff. But that's basically how you do it. Okay, and I don't know how you do it on a Windows machine because I happen to have a Mac. So maybe Darren will tell us how that's done.
Yeah. For us lesser mortals, it's the 3 dots and exactly the same thing. Go into, let me see, 3 dots, and I think it's
share your screen. Can you do that? Is it possible to show?
Well, it's really, if you just click on the 3 dots, guys, and there's on the tab it says history, then just follow it. Then basically does exactly the same thing that Jeremy's just shown you. But that's basically where it is. With one more question or suggestion, which I think you and I spoke about last week, from Jerry. Jerry's saying, is there any chance that we could have some kind of notification or when our bots hit goal reached?
Yeah, well, that is something that we haven't added to the list, but we talked about it last week, me and Darren. So we're either we will do something like that. So we're either going to have to make a push notification, which is the Chrome plugin, and that means that obviously if you're using Safari or you're using Firefox, it wouldn't work. You'd have to be using Google Chrome, or we could send an email. Okay, but the problem is with that, if we send an email, it's just more server power, you know. So it may be that we got to do a push notification. But when we get after the launch, it's definitely not going to happen before the launch. But after the launch, I've already made a note of it because me and Darren spoke about it last week. So I've already made a note to talk to the programmers about it. But yeah, we will think of something to give you some sort of notification. You know, I don't know whether we can do. I don't know. I know that Telegram have robots that you can set up. I know that WhatsApp have robots that can set up. So we'll look at something to do some sort of notification. Not so sure if it'd be an email because, again, you know, if you've got 1,000 people using it and they've all got 3 bots each, and you can imagine that, you know, 50% of those bots go into goal reach, that's an email going out. Then there's this fear, does it go into spam folder and you don't get it? And then you're sending in support tickets. I never got a notification. So we'll think of a way of notifying. But unfortunately, at the moment, what you need to do is, you know what, you've got your phone. I take my phone and all you do is you can log in on your phone, can't you? So it's so simple to do. Again, I've got some sort of Samsung phone here, and I keep my zukul here. And when I'm out, I can refresh my screen, and every now and again, I can look in from my phone. So if you're that concerned about it, you know, you need to make the effort to do it yourself. You know, it's nothing stopping you having a look at your phone before you go to bed. You know, because yeah, have a look for yourself. That's the only answer, the short answer to that. But we will look at doing some sort of notification. Anything else there, Darren?
No, we look good. And good. Bearing in mind we're now 8:15 here. I hate to think what it is in Australia. Well, it might be 8:15 in the morning. That's fine. Forget that.
I'm in here. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining us on this hangout. Darren will see you on his next one. I won't be on a hangout until I think about Thursday, Friday next week. With Thursday today, because I've got an appointment tomorrow. That's why I did it today. And Monday, I know I've got appointments, and Tuesday. So I think it's going to be, you know, I don't want to say, I think Thursday, Friday, then I definitely know I'll be on a hangout. And we'll talk to you about the auction. And then we'll see you, Darren will see you on his hangout very soon. So keep an eye on your emails or your Facebook or your whatever way you follow us on our YouTube channels. And you'll get a notification to say when our next hangout is. And have a fantastic rest of the day, evening or morning, depending on what part of the world you're in. Tutty bye.